Thank you, Ajneet. Thank you everyone for being here. First off, this event is taking place on the traditional unceded territories of the Musqueam, Seychelles, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. Acknowledging this fact is just the starting point on the path to reconciliation, to appreciate the privilege that it is to work, study, and reside on this land.
Awesome, thank you, Laura. The sequence for VP candidates, it's the same sequence in which I just took attendance. For presidents, could all the 4 presidents please come here? So for presidential candidates, we're going to do a quick debate. This quick means 15 minutes debate. This will start at 12:30 p.m. Who goes against whom? Could we please pick these chits? Each candidate, please pick a chit. Please open it up and tell me who got the ones here. Can you please come forward? So both of you are going against each other, and you both are going against each other. Thank you. Each candidate you can go back to your seats, please. Thank you. For VP candidates, you will be given a total of 5 minutes, out of which 1 minute to 1 minute 30 seconds is for your individual time, where you talk about why should people vote for you. And once that is done, Courier will be asking you relevant questions. Make sense? For presidential, you'll have, again, 1 minute to talk about yourself, respectively, as to what your manifesto is. Once that is done, Courier will ask you a question. Person 1 will answer, then person 2 will answer. Make sense? Okay. And I would really, really appreciate if you could please be silent when someone is speaking here, just because this is all getting recorded, and we want to make sure that the audio is really good. Fair enough? Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ajneet. So we're going to get started with the VP Equity and Sustainability candidates. So please, Harmol, Singh, if you can approach the table. Thank you. Okay. So can you please tell us in 1 minute, introduce yourself, please, and then tell us why should the students vote for you? You can just try and go to the mic so that it's in the recording.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Harmol Singh. I am running for the Vice President seat of Equity and Sustainability. In our Capilano University, we have a diversity of students, and they are growing and thriving in a manner of a productive way in our educational system. A lot of students come from different countries. They do hair study and do other curriculum activities for their productive manner, and I am standing for this position on equity and sustainability because I find myself suitable for this position, because equity represent more than just a fairness. It's represent everyone, every student find themselves as a part of a Capilano University and get full opportunities as other students seeking. And sustainability, the other part of my position, represent the environmental perspective, we are not destroying our planet, and sustain our planet for long last, how much we can do. If I will be elected, I will do some works for sustainability and for equity, both of these positions. For equity, I will try my best to provide different sources and different accessibilities to students who face different type of troubles and stress for their education and other curriculums. Like a lot of students who come our university in a first semester or who are newcomers, basically they find themselves inappropriate in a guidance. Even we have a lot of accessibilities and services where they reach and just have guidance for different perspectives, just as a registration of courses and other like dental care, health care, and other services. But they don't get much about the services, and I will do work for those services. I will also collaborate with the learning center to make those students ease in a transition of international pedagogy style to our Canadian style, because different countries have different learning styles. As in India, as an example of mine, as India.
Sorry, we need to proceed with the other questions.
Okay, sorry. It's enough.
You're good, you're good. So part of your role is to organize campaigns on social justice and environmental issues. Can you tell us one social justice issue and one environmental issue that you would prioritize in your term?
Like the environmental one, there is a lot of waste, the paper waste or something like other environmental issues like students throws many kind of garbage on the like other things like in an environmental perspective we will support the plantation and other removal of waste like the paper usage. We promote students to do online matters like digital platforms that also promoted by our university. We will encourage those students to promote that type of things to reduce the paper usage and other we can make awareness camps and other decks awareness desks so they get information and awareness how our university helping our environment as all students observe like our university is not a concrete jungle. It's a real jungle within a like we in a university we feel the real nature, so we promote that.
Thank you so much. Can you tell us one social justice issue as well?
Like social justice, some students get some racism behavior at in our university because different ethnicities obviously raise some issues about race. So I will try my best and also get support from students, all the students, and to reduce those racisms and make every student feel equal at any platform and at any educational pathway.
Thank you. Last question. The hardest part of advocacy is that sometimes the efforts don't work. So how would you get motivation again to start a new advocacy effort if one of your ideas is not successful?
Additional to my efforts, I will also promote the students who are here in a Capilano and want to seek some help in different perspectives, educational matter or any other service matter. I also like to consult with the existing CSU board members to seek help from those members to do work for the welfare if I get deprived at any moment.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Next candidate for VP Equity and Sustainability is Manveer Singh Boparai. Hello, Manveer.
Hi.
Just make sure to talk to the mic so we can have you in the recording. Can you please tell us, introduce yourself and tell us why students should vote for you?
Hi everyone, my name is Manveer Singh Boparai and it's my second year in business administration and I am participating, I am running for the Vice President Equity and Sustainability. So I think that I am capable to elected as the Vice President because the university is a diverse university as there are students from many another culture and region. Like I am from India and some from here are from another countries as well. So I would like to encourage the students that we should get together and go up with each other to raise our voice like related to the courses as many students can't get courses in the summer semester as the number of courses are less. So it's a problem I heard from the student. Another perspective is the fees as there should be a cap on the fees. Like it's raising by semester and raising from semester by semester. So it should be like a cap on it.
Okay. Well, part of your role is to organize campaigns and social justice and environmental issues, on social justice and environmental issues. So if you can focus on just one social justice issue and one environmental issue, which ones would you prioritize?
As my friend Harmol Singh already discussed the racism issue, once a student faced the problem that a professor failed him due to as he was from another country like a black region. So it's a social it's a social problem regarding the racism. So at that time I discussed this problem with a student as he should mail to the higher authorities to get this problem correct. Uh, Coming toward the sustainable point, I would like to encourage the students as they should do the things correctly. Like if someone is throwing a waste here and there, it shouldn't be done. It shouldn't be thrown in the dustbins, or it shouldn't be put into the correct thing, right?
Are you familiar with the services that the university has for cases like the one you just shared? And which additional support would you add to those services already existing on campus?
The things like I will organize the campaigns and events in the multicultural, where all the culture, like if I am from India, someone is from Pakistan or America or Canada, they should all together organize any one event. It doesn't depend on the culture. So if they will come together, they will get more knowledge about each other's culture, and they will also get a good environment in the university. And the major problem which I heard from the student is that they cannot get courses in the summer semester. I would like to uh, throw a light on it, as if the higher authorities should increase the number of courses in the summer semester, then it will be a good thing, right? And the another thing is the cap on fees, as everyone is from different country and they have a different affordability, right? If and if there will be a cap on the fees, everyone can be capable to study more and get more knowledge about it.
Okay, the latest advocacy campaign from the CSU was to protest against the proposal to increase international tuition by 5%. And yeah, they had two efforts to this purpose. Did you participate in either of those?
Yeah, as I attended the annual journal meeting.
That was not part of the campaign. They had letters sent to the Board of Governors, and they had attendance to the Board of Governors where they were going to approve the proposal. Were you part of any of those?
No, I was not the part of that event, because I was in India at that time. But when I was here, I discussed this problem with the President Angad Brad.
Okay, sorry. So another question. The letters could be sent from anywhere because it was online. So if the CSU is not able to get students that are already interested in advocating like yourself, what would you do to get students to participate in these efforts that are already existing?
When I was in India at that time, I couldn't attend that meeting, but I have attended the another meetings which were held in the Maple building as a guest. I attended there. The one thing was at that time that they were discussing.
Sorry, this is not about the personal reasons why you didn't attend the meeting. It's how you can get other students to attend in future meetings. But your time is up. I'm sorry.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Now we're going to go with the VP Finance and Services candidates. So we're going to have Dilkaran Singh. Hello, can you please introduce yourself and tell the students why they should vote for you?
Hello everyone, I am Dilkaran Singh. I am running in the election as a Vice President, Finance and Services. While I don't have any financial background in finance and service, but currently I am serving as Vice President, Equity and Sustainability. So which forced me to choose as a Vice President, Finance and Services. So I encourage myself to be as a part of Finance and Services due to I have a good managing resources as I am already in the union. So now I want the same commitment as in the Finance and Services to elect myself as a Vice President Finance and Services. So if I elected, I would participate.
Thank you. First question. So you mentioned in your campaign platform that you want to work towards a more transparent and equitable distribution of funds. So what policies or specific actions do you propose to make this happen?
Like, yeah, if I elected, I would if I elected, I would allow each student to use their fund accordingly. Like every student, I believe that every student fees should be used wisely as they are paying fees to CSU as well. So my main priorities are to enhance the mental health and dental plans.
Okay, so the position you're running for is paid over $24,000 a year with the expectation that you'll work 80 hours a month. Do you think it would be fair for a director to receive full pay if they work less than the expected hours, considering that it is students' money that pays for the executive's wages?
To be honest, like if any of the executive work less than 80 hours, I think he or she's pay should be deducted. So because it is the fair union as it is for everyone, uh, to keep it them equally as it is the union where everyone needs to be work. As me as well, I worked less than 80 hours, so my pay should be deducted.
Um, Thank you. And yeah, so as you probably know, the board is currently struggling to get quorum for some committee meetings. So which committee would you have to join as the VP Finance, and what actions would you take to ensure that enough people attend to hold the meetings from the committees?
Like there is a student union building committee meeting which I will join as a vice president finance and services, and I encourage other director whosoever is elected as a finance and services also as another position to be a part of meeting to meet the quorum. So I will encourage everyone to do.
If you were the VP Finance, then you would have to join the CSU Finance and Audit Committee and the CSU Student Engagement Committee. So how would you get people to attend to those committees?
Like there are board meetings on every second week, so I encourage everyone to take a part and give their 100%, like to meet the quorum. As if the quorum does not meet, then the work is backlogged. So I will encourage them while dealing in that board meeting.
Okay. You have 1 more minute, so we can receive a question from the students in the audience if there's a question. Yes, in the back. Thank you. If you have no financial background, how do you think you can carry on the expected duties from this position?
Yes, like I mentioned this thing, like I don't have any financial background, but right now I serve as a vice president equity and sustainability, which gave me the strong foundation and managing resources. So I ensure the fair practices as now I am here to promise you all guys that I will give my fair to all this decision that I made.
Thank you so much. That's your time. The next candidate for VP Finance and Services, please, Meharveen Manchanda. Hi, did I pronounce your name correctly?
Meharveen, yeah.
Can you please introduce yourself and tell the students why they should vote for you?
Thank you guys for joining for the forum today. A little bit about myself. I'm Meharveen. I'm a third-year student, Bachelor's of Business Administration, and I'm specializing in accounts and finance. Beyond that, I am also involved with the CBPS as Director of Finance with the HRMA and a student ambassador with the Accounting Association. So I have a pretty decent background with finance. The main reason I'm standing for the elections is an emphasis on the word accountability. If I have the power over budget, I would want to make sure that the leaders that the CSU is spending so much resources and so much money on are being paid for what they are doing and not for what they are. The last elections, we saw that the leaders were only involved in getting paychecks. The money that the students are paying from their tuition fees, the very hard-earned money that could be used to some better use. The other issues that I also have in mind include the need to the need that students should not be having to buy textbooks for their classes when there are better alternatives available from professors. I know the CSU has also raised this issue, but I would want it to go ahead, go further, so that it just does not become another story on the CSU Insta page. It like actually takes an effect with the students, and they are able to see a result. The third thing that I had in mind was that there are many fees, the fees breakdown, the tuition breakdown. We had like the U-Pass and other services that many students really do not require. I would want that this should be done optional, so that these little things make some kind of impact and is able to reduce the stress on the tuition that the students have to pay here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I wanted to ask you, in your biography, it mentions that you have helped organize events and facilitate expert panels, positively impacting over 100 students. Do you think being elected will help you amplify this impact?
Of course, this would totally help me amplify this, because as more events I do, the more experience I'll have, the more connections I'll make. I'll be able to better organize the people that I want to target with my events. I'll be able to support them in a better way, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you. You mentioned about the U-Pass that you wanted to make it optional. However, the low price that we have is because all students are required to pay it. So if making it optional will make the U-Pass cost higher for other students, would you still considering pursuing that?
I would like to make it. I would like to weigh down the advantages and disadvantages so that I know what's best for the students. I see a lot of them do not have a car, but many of them do have them, which makes it harder to opt out for the U-Pass, and they still have to pay it. But for sure, I would not want to make a decision that has a negative impact on the students.
Thank you. Lastly, another task from your position would be to promote and develop CSU student spaces. So what would you like to keep from the current board's initiatives, and what do you propose to do?
Oh wow! I love the community food banks that we do every week. It's been really helpful for me as well. Like personally, when I had trouble getting food because I didn't have a job, I would certainly like to keep it and expand it as well. And then the other thing are the dental services. I have used a couple of times. The doctors here are really professional. I love that as well. And the community closet in the library, that's such a great thing as well.
Awesome. We have 40 more seconds. If anyone has a question in the audience that you would like to ask to the VP Finance. Yes?
You mentioned that the CSU has been taking paychecks, and
The CSU has been taking paychecks.
the
Board members,
they have been taking paychecks without working.
they have been taking paychecks without working.
Have you had read reports? Like on what grounds can you say that?
On what grounds are you making this statement?
Okay, so I cannot tell you the exact issue, but since I am a part of the Finance and Audit Committee, I have the knowledge that some of the students were making misuse of the resources that were given to them to attend meetings outside of Canada, and they were not able to provide the required response that was expected from them from such a high position that they were holding. And this issue has since...
I'm sorry, but I have to cut your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, we have the candidates for VP External. So, Navjot, Singh, if you can please come forward. Can you please introduce yourself and tell the students why they should vote for you?
Hello everyone, my name is Navjot Singh. I have been in this university for almost 2 years. I'm currently a board member for CSU and currently running for Vice President External. My goal is to provide students with every kind of need what they want for their Vice President, and I will be there for them in every kind of situation. Uh, uh, mm, I'm like always available for them in every situation, what they want, what they need for them. If I got elected as Vice President External, I will ensure that they what they want they get from me, and I also like build up connection with the wider community and the schools to ensure that their personal and professional for their personal and professional growth. Also, I will do conducting surveys from the students, like what they want, all their concerns are being addressed. Yes.
Okay. In your biography, you only included information about your experience in Khalsa Public
Yeah.
School, but you are a CSU member and have been on the board for a term and a half now. So what contributions have you made during this time and why didn't you include them?
So, as a board member, I am at large representative for CSU, and also I am chairperson for the governance committee and student union building committee. I do meetings with the guests from another universities, and also do like any kind of debates with our director Chris, and also like listening to the student what they want for the being good for the university.
So, as like the difference with you and other candidates is that you have been able to be part of the meetings for what the CSU has been doing so far. So you have more input on it. So can you share what what would you want to keep from what the current BP external is doing now, and what would you do differently in your own term?
Can you
Sure.
simply?
So, what do you think you should keep doing that the current BP external is doing,
Yeah.
and what would you do differently in your term if you were elected?
I think like the previous year, like VP external Arpan.
No, sorry, this year in the board that you are on, like,
So you think you say like what the previous
Yeah.
person do and what I can do for the students, right?
yes, sorry, continue.
So I will like available for the student for like I'll be there in the university like about at 6 p.m. I am there for all day. I'll for helping for students, and also I mentioned my numbers and emails like whatever queries the students have, they can feel free to ask me. Also, I do tabling hours for the students in like library or in the Maple building. I also like post the stories on my social media site, like whatever like, queries they want, they can feel free to ask me.
Okay. Um, Next question. You voted to repeal the board accountability policy in October. What alternative do you propose to ensure that there is accountability within the board during your term?
Can you amplify this?
Yeah. So you voted to repeal the board accountability policy in October. So what alternative do you propose to ensure that there is accountability within your board, within the board when you are the PP external?
I can't like ask the question. Can you amplify this?
Yeah. Like what do you propose so that there is accountability within the board? Yeah.
So you like, I will give my 100% to the board, like as a vice president external. Like the things the previous vice president didn't do, I will do my 100% for the students, whatever they want, and also being like I also being transparent with the things, all the things what we are doing in
Okay.
the board. Yeah.
You're supposed to lead UPass BC negotiations between CSU and TransLink. Considering that TransLink has insufficient budget to address transit issues in many parts of the city, how would you argue that CAPU should be prioritized?
So in the starting, I also like traveling from the bus, and I see many kind of like difficulties from just like I live in Delta, and I see like I just changed almost 2 or 3 buses from traveling to university, and I think if I talk about the U pass, I think like in the term when we got like we got off, I think the U pass has to be there for the students because we pay like the $50 I think in for a semester for the thing.
Okay, that's okay. Thank you. That's your time. Thank you. Next candidate for BP External, Vansh Kalra, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Vansh Kalra and I'm an international student here running for the position of Vice President External in the CSU elections. And I chose this position because in this position I would have to represent CSU to the federal student organizations and the national student organizations. And moreover, I would have to meet with the ministers here, and it would be a great experience for me. Like, I have never been in any union in my university, and when I came here, I heard about the CSU, and then I thought I would join sometime in the CSU, but this is my time to join here, and yeah.
Okay. If you're elected, you're expected to meet regularly with federal, provincial, and municipal decision makers. How would you prepare yourself before joining these conversations?
I'll be just available every time in my office hours, and I'll just listen to what students are demanding, and I'll discuss with the president, who would be the president at that time, and we'll just prepare what should we speak there, and we'll just see what other unions are doing for their students, and then we'll see what can we do. Yeah.
Okay. You get the opportunity to talk about policies that are university-wide and even, policies that are affecting students all over Canada. Like, the scope is much bigger when you're a BP external.
Yeah.
So I reiterate the question one more time. Are you prepared to, how would you prepare yourself so that us students feel like we're well represented with you to be informed and be part of conversations with decision makers?
Yeah, I'll be prepared every time. I'll practice what should I speak there, and I'll just discuss with every union member what the issue students are facing. I'll just discuss with the student union members, and we'll just see what should we speak there.
Okay. In your biography, you mentioned that you want to ensure that student concerns are heard. So if you have to prioritize one of these concerns, which one would it be and why?
If I highlight any concern, the main concern right now is going about the tuition fees of international students. International students coming from various countries are facing a lot of problems already. They are not getting jobs and they are facing various issues here. And the universities are increasing their fees by 5%, which I don't think they should do. So I'll discuss this thing in any meetings if I get a chance.
Do you think the solution or a way to prevent for the gap between domestic and international fees, to address that problem, do you think the solution is within the university, or it needs to be provincial level, or it needs to be federal level?
I think that the solution is maybe in the hands of provincial or federal level, because there are a lot of ministers on education who are taking these decisions. But if we are a unity of students and we all are talking about the same thing, that we should not increase the fees, then they should listen to our voices. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And then we had a question from a student sent to the CSU platform, and it says, what specific metrics would you use to evaluate the success of external partnerships? And can you cite past instances where you've applied these metrics effectively?
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. What specific metrics would you use to evaluate the success of external partnerships? And can you cite past instances where you have applied these metrics effectively?
What's
So if we have partnership. For example, we have a partnership with TransLink because we have the
Oh, yeah.
UPass. So, what metric, in what way can you tell students we're having a good relationship with this, or we're not having a fair relationship?
Like if
how
we are
would you
talking
measure?
about Translink, so when I used to come on the bus, I used to see that there is a huge lineup, and one bus comes, and not everyone is able to get to that bus, and they are getting late for the classes. And if students are paying for the Translink, and there are a lot of students who are coming on bus, so maybe I'll talk about increasing the number of buses within the time and all.
Yeah, the CSU has been trying to do just that for a while now, and the problem is that it's very competitive because TransLink has such a tight budget. So, what argument would you give for them to prioritize CAPU over other areas of the city?
So like there are students coming from Surrey, so they just have to increase the buses from from the Metro Town and from the Phipps Exchange, which are the main bus stops from which students take the buses. So I don't think so. It would be a huge issue for the TransLink to not increasing the number of buses, because there are a lot of students who are not even going on buses, and still they are paying. So like what they are doing with the money. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's your time.
Thank you so much.
Okay, we're gonna go with the Vice President Student Affair candidates. So Harpreet Kaur, please, can you? Can you please introduce yourself and tell students why they should vote for you?
Hello everyone, my name is Harpreet Kaur and I'm business administration student, and I'm honored to be here in front of you for the post of Vice President Student Affair. As a business student, I'm passionate about understanding and advocating for the well-being of others. I strongly believe that the university life is not about more than just the academics. It's about understanding where every student feels empowered, valued, and their voices are heard. As soon as I'm elected, I will formally conduct surveys with the students. So like the issues they are facing, like the academic issues, campus issues, like now the summer registration has been started and the students are not aware how to do the registration. And there are very limited courses, so I'll conduct the surveys and I'll meet with the faculties and the dean so that this problem is solved. Also, I have seen that the many cultural events have not been done within the past few months because of the misconduct of the students. So I'll ensure that the cultural diversity of every culture is celebrated. Also, I'll ensure that the indigenous culture is also respected and included in this. Because I believe that our university is home for every student and every student should feel valued. So I think I'll organize the events. Also, another issue is the transit one, because many students do not feel safe while coming in the buses because they are they feel they are being they are being harassed by others, because I've heard from many students from past few days. So I'll ensure that this is not done in the buses. Also, I've heard that in the coming years, whether it is in, I think, 26 or 27, the transit has decided to run a rapid bus from Metro Town to Phipps Exchange. So I'll ensure that the Phipps Exchange stop is cut off and make sure that the Capilano should be the last stop. So that the time decreases for the students and they can commute very easily. So that's it.
Thank you. You have a lot of proposals in your campaign platform, but if you could only achieve one, if you can focus on one during your term, which one would it be?
So the one main focus that I'll ensure that every student is involved in each and every cultural and events, because in this university, every student is from different backgrounds, whether international, domestic, or from any different backgrounds. So I want to ensure that each and every student gets participated and they represent the university together in different universities and colleges. So I'll ensure that the students actively take part in the events.
Thank you. From all the initiatives that the CSU has had this past year, which one do you think you want to keep, you think it's working and you want to keep going with that initiative in your term, and which other proposals do you, towards student engagement?
Like the like what should be going further, right?
Yeah, what do you want to keep and what do you want to have? Like,
Okay, so I just want that I have thought to introduce an innovation idea of like students commute from far places, from like Chilliwack or Abbotsford. So I've thought of a plan to introduce the sleeping pods in the university so that the students can rest in the university and they do not need to commute daily basis. So this will reduce their time, and during the examination period, they can rest in the university, and this will lead to their better studies. And by seeing the previous year CSU programs and events, I'll ensure that more activities are conducted in the university and more events takes place so that the students get involved and their like talents can be recognized.
okay. An issue that is pretty recent is a 2% turnout for voting from domestic students. So this is a group of students that is currently not engaging with the CSU. So how would you address that group specifically so that they become more engaged?
So this is the fees concern for both international and domestic students. I know that the policy has been passed, but it can be done. I think we can file petitions for the international students so that the fees can be cut off to around 2.5% or to 3%. And for the domestic students, it can be cut down to 1% or 1.5% because it's very difficult for every student to pay this much fees, right? So I think we can file petitions so that the university senate or the other respected department can take into these issues and they can look after into this issue.
Okay. Last question. Considering that part of your role is to represent the CSU to the University Senate, what issues would you like to address with them during your term?
So I think the students face issues like the courses one, the campus resources, whether like it's the transportation. So I'll ensure that I'll sit in the CSU's any given spaces for at least 1.5 hours a day and let every student know so that they can approach me and they can tell me their problems. And moreover,
Sorry, I'm going to have to cut your time. I'm really sorry, but thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, the next candidate for VP Student Affairs is Rahul Singh Reandi. Can you please introduce yourself and tell the students why they should vote for you?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Rahul Singh. I'm here to be excited that I'm running for elections, Vice President for Student Affairs. I'm here because I believe that student life is not only for assignments and lectures. It's for more than that. That it's about building connections. We can make passions, and also it will be help to engage meeting new people. As a VP, I prefer to be a good leader. I'll be trying to make new things over here, and I'll be doing. I can say that I'll be developing new programs in the university. Will be trying my best to be your every student voice should be heard to the board of directors who are making decisions, and also will be doing new programs and events which would be help students for their academic growth, health, mental health, and overall well-being. As a social awareness, it would be help to making new friends, and also for social activities, working academic shops, it will be help to making their way for navigate the new things, and also I also want to say that there should be I'll try to make new things which would be help students to raise their voice in to the board of directors. Thank you.
Okay. In your biography, you mentioned that you've worked closely with the administration and faculty to address student concerns. Could you share with us an example of what concerns you shared and what was the response you got from the administration and faculty?
Yeah, I try to bring some new events that, as example, there was an event in February of volleyball. So I'll be try to bring every event in once in a month, which would be help students to engage in more in these type of events, which would be helping their mental health and their overall fitness.
Okay, thank you. What is one thing that the CSU has been doing to increase student engagement that you would like to maintain, and one thing that you would like to propose for them to do?
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. What is one thing that the CSU has been doing to increase student engagement that you would like to maintain, and one thing that you would like to propose to do?
Yeah, CSU is currently working on the events and programs which should be increased, and I also want to I also promise to everybody that there should be every event or program in once in a month which should be engage every student to participate in that, which would be helping their academic program. Like there should be a workshop every in a month, which would be helping their academic program and mental health in overall well-being also.
Thank you. Considering that part of your role is to represent the CSU to the University Senate, what issues would you like to address with them during your term?
Firstly, I'll raise the voice about that everyone are saying for the courses that mostly students are not getting courses from Capilano University. Many of my friends are taking courses from TRU, which is in the Thompson River University. I think it's in the Chilawek. They are taking the courses online, and I want to bring that courses here, which would be helpful to be here, because as my personal opinion, I don't want to do any online course because I'm unable to learn anything, and I'm lazy as to be online student. I want to prefer to be offline.
Thank you. We have 30 more seconds, so I'm going to open to a last question from the audience. Any last?
I just promise to everybody that there will be program and events which should be helping every student to engage and participate in the Kaplan University.
Thank you so much. Last candidate for VP Student Affairs, please, Amanjot Singh. Hello. Can you please introduce yourself and tell students why they should vote for you?
Yeah. Hey everyone, my name is Amanjot Singh, and I am in my second year with Business Administration course. So I am running for the position of Vice President Student Affairs because I think students should be engaged more in events to make a better connection with the other students from different culture. Moreover, as a president of Punjab Bhangra Club, I think that cultural club engage more students to come and stay connected with their homies. Moreover, as a former university senate, I think that I have more experience to be like to raise the issue, how to raise the issues for the student in the university senate meetings. That's it. Yep.
Thank you. So what is one thing that the CSU has been doing to increase student engagement that you would like to maintain, and one thing that you like to propose?
So CSU is holding so many events for the student to get engaged with each other. Moreover, CSU also engage with the student senator of Capilano because I think that CSU board of director knows pretty well about the students, that how to deal with their issues and how to represent in the university meetings, senate meetings.
Okay, thank you. Another thing that stood out to me when I read your campaign, your statement, is that it started with, my name is, open parentheses, your name, close parentheses. So I wanted to ask you, do you think it's acceptable for candidates to use AI to write their candidate platforms?
I don't think so. I used AI because every statement is my own. Like I'm a president of Punjab Bhangra Club, so I have a experience in that club. So that's all of my experience from last 1 year. Moreover, I'm a student senator now, so I also represent the student voices with the policies and the courses. So that's all in it. You can check it for
So
sure.
you're-
Yeah. That's my experience though.
You're saying you did not use AI to write
No,
your platform. Okay.
No, yep.
Considering that part of your role is to represent the CSU to the University Senate, what issues would you like to address with them during your term?
So, in the first meeting last year, I took a decision of the courses that in last year the student didn't get summer courses as well, like now. So I addressed that situation in the university meeting with the senators, the senator teachers. So, but I didn't get enough response from them at that time. So I think that if I on that position, I get more powers for that, and then I will address this issue very soon.
Okay. We have one question that was submitted from a student to the CSU platform, and it says, can you specify which student services you believe are currently underutilized provided by the CSU, and what strategies would you implement to enhance these services?
So I want to make events more engaging for the students. Like there is an event in May which is organized by me, named as Youth Fest. So in that, I am engaging students to come and show their talent. Like there is a Bhangra Gidda. This is a folk dance of Punjab. So I want that to make it a big fest, like youth fest, so that every student will engage in that and show their talents.
Okay.
Mhm.
The largest part of the student population that is not engaged are domestic students.
Yep.
And engagement is not only about events, it's about elections as well, participating in the elections. So how would you motivate this section of like this demographic of the university to participate and to feel represented by you?
So I think that there is a lot of positions, only the positions of vice president. There is also position with the at-large and board of director. You can choose that if you are new here, if you are fresh here, if you feel like shy and didn't know about the positions, you can elect for the at-large positions to just to know about what's the CSU is, what's the university policies is. That's
Okay, thank you so much. You have 20 more seconds if you want to say something else. Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, I just want to ask you how to handle when board meetings. How can we ensure that we will give your best in the future?
How can you ensure that he gives his best in this position? Because you haven't been attending the current board meetings.
So I have a pretty much experience with the meetings with CSU, as I'm a board of director in the CSU, Capilano Student Union. So I think that I have a good experience. So if I come on that position, I will make sure that I will. That's what's the main motive of student fair, to engage more audience towards the events, towards the elections.
Sorry, is it, so have you been attending or have you not been attending the meetings?
I'm, So I think I attended almost half of the meetings of the CSU last year. So I think I know pretty much about the CSU in that meetings.
Well, the problem is that you have to attend all of the meetings.
Yeah, I have to attend all of the
Not
meetings,
half of
but
the meetings.
I was in India at that time, so that's why I didn't attend the meetings.
All the
from
meetings
last year.
are hybrid. You can attend online or in person.
But I didn't have enough time for their meetings
Okay,
because.
your time is up.
Thank you.
So much. Sure. We're going to have a 2-minute recess. We're going to get the president candidates ready, and this part is going to be different. We're going to have 2 candidates responding at the same time, and they're going to be able to ask questions to each other. So please stay for that.
So 2 minutes recess, and then we'll reconvene, okay? Thank you. Manrajdeep Singh and Harjot Singh, you folks are going first, so please be ready in the next 30 seconds or so. We're starting in 30 seconds. So all the two candidates who are going right now, please be ready. 30 seconds. Is the camera?
I think he never stopped it. We should just, yeah.
Manrajdeep Singh, take your pick. Do you want to sit here? Do you want to sit there? Okay, go sit there. Harjot Singh, you go and sit here. We're doing a mic check and then we'll begin.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Hello.
This debate will be 15 minutes long. Each candidate will be given 1 minute to 1 minute 15 seconds to talk about themselves, to talk about their manifesto. Once that is done, Capilano Courier will be asking a question. Both the candidates will answer one by one the same question. Last 3 minutes are for you folks to ask questions. That's it.
Okay, let's start. So you have 1 minute and a half to introduce yourself, tell students why they should vote for you. We're going to start on this side, and then the next question will start on this side, and so on.
Yeah.
So, please.
So, hello everybody. My name is Manrajdeep Singh, and it's my second year in Capilano University as a student of Associate of Arts degree. And as a student, as being a student myself, I am completely aware of the challenges and difficulties we face in our day-to-day life. And I am very much committed to bring new positive changes which benefits us all. So, my first priority is going to be improving the course scheduling system because it's quite frustrating when we don't get courses when our time tickets open. So I promise I'll be closely involved with the administration to bring new course scheduling systems which will benefit for all the students and would be more fairer and would be more responsive to our needs. So each and every student deserves chance to get the courses they are looking for. So secondly, I'll try to improve the transit accessibility as well. Because majority of students are traveling from long distances, like from Surrey, Langley, and other areas. It takes almost 2 hours, even more than that in some cases, and it's very frustrating and it's very frustrating for those students because they get exhausted before even reaching the university.
Thank you. You can go ahead.
Hi everyone, my name is Harjot Singh. I'm a science student and this is my second year. And I'm happy to running for the president position of for the CSU. So, like, you know that we are all are facing a lot of challenges, like the academic stress and the financial struggles. So, and also we are unheard about the like the decision processing. So that's why, like, I'm committed to being a strong advocate for this, and I also like to stand with every student and ensure that our voice will make a change, and that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, first question. Part of the role of the president is to be a spokesperson for the CSU on general issues. So we're going to take as an example the 2% domestic voter turnout in the last election. So you each going to have 1 minute to explain why is it a problem to have such a big part of the student population disengaged with the election process and to try and motivate them to vote.
Can you please repeat that?
Sure, one more time.
Yeah.
So imagine that you're talking to the student population right now.
Yeah.
You kind of are. So
Yeah.
you're going to explain to them why is it a problem to have such a big part of the population, the student population, which are domestic students,
Yeah.
not voting, because only 2% of them voted in the last election.
Yeah.
So you're going to explain why is it a problem to have them disengage from the election process, and you're going to try and motivate them to be
Okay,
part of
yeah,
it.
I got it.
Okay, you got 1 minute.
Yeah.
You can go.
Yeah, as you mentioned, like the students are not like they participate in the election. The reason is this: we are not approaching the students. Like in this elections, I try to like reach out with every domestic or international student, and you know that like I got a good response from those, and everybody appreciate me. And the main concern is this: I didn't see anybody to reach out those people, so that's the main concern. I'm working on it. Maybe I will do good.
Okay, you have 30 more seconds. Do you want to?
No, that's all. That's the main concern. Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready? You have 1 minute.
So, majority of domestic students are not involved in the election and stuff because it's kind of their personal choice as well. But if we talk on a general scale, I think there was a tuition increase for the students as well. So the domestic tuition increment was 2% and the international were 5%. So I think international students are facing many problems. So that's why they want to come on board and speak for the whole community and speak for themselves because they are suffering on these scales. So that's why I think domestic students are kind of comfortable with what they have and what they are and their stuff. So I think that's why they don't show much interest in these things.
Okay. No, unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay.
Next
Yeah.
question. So, to your knowledge, what has the CSU done to cap international tuition fee increases to 2% at par with domestic tuition? And what would you propose to address the already high international tuition fees from getting higher? And now you get to start. You have.
Can you please come again?
Sure. So, to your knowledge, what has the CSU been doing about the high international tuition fees? Like, what efforts are already there? And having the knowledge of what's already being done about it, what do you propose to do since these efforts have not been successful?
So if we talk about all the universities, our university is increasing like 5% increment for the international students, while other universities are increasing more percentages, like 6, 7, 8. So we are already better than most of them in this case. I think what I've heard of the previous board of directors are discussing to bring new financial system which will distinguish international and returning students and the current students. So to keep the same fees for the returning students and increase the fees accordingly because there is a major difference between the fee when they were studying before and when they are returning. So these things should be proposed and these things should be pushed because it's very better for the returning students.
So that is the argument, the main argument that the university provided, that other universities are charging more, therefore they can charge more, and it's not to do with the cost of the education. So are you in favor of that argument? So you're saying that it is okay for CAPU to increase 5% because other universities are increasing even more, when it has more to do with what other universities are doing than what our cost of education is?
So increments of tuition fee are not at all okay with the students. But if we talk about the university perspective, increments are constant increments are mandatory after a couple of years. If the university is increasing fees every year, that's not good for students, and students will never agree with that. But certain increments on with certain limits are good, and we are universities much better than other universities. That's why what I said, that every university is increasing fees, our university is also increasing fees, but our university is better than them in comparison. But students will never agree with increments because increments are never good. Yeah.
Thank you. Your take on it. You have
The same question.
yes.
So first of all, like I am not agree with this rule of the like the cap on the the fee or to any this of thing. The main thing is this, like as my brother said, that like the other universities are doing good, yeah. So we need to learn from, like he mentioned that our university is doing good, so that's the good thing. I didn't know about it, but I'm totally engaged it. Like every student like have to, why they have to pay like more fees? They already paying too much. It's not about like, I'm not talking about the for only international, I'm talking about both domestic and the international students. Like 2%, if we calculate the 2%, there is a lot of students. So if you count it, it's too much. Yeah. So that's why I don't want like the student have to pay that much fees. And the main concern is this, you know, that like everybody have to like suffer from the like they don't have work. So these type of things. So that's why I don't think so they have to increase the like tuition fee. And the other thing I want to say with this, uh, university like a CSU also helps students in these type of, students are paying these fees like you know that there is a some sense they are paying to the CSU about these type of things, so they can help the student to do some works as well. So totally I'm disagree with this.
Okay, thank you. Now that you mentioned it, yes, students pay to the CSU every year.
Yeah.
And the position you're running for is going to be paid over $28,000 a year,
Yeah.
and all the vice presidents over $24,000 a year. So what are you proposing to keep these executive members accountable for the money that they are receiving, and to provide students the evidence of their work, of themselves putting 80 hours of work every month and attending the meetings?
Okay, you know, the thing is this, I am running first time elections for the president. So the thing is this, I am not sure about these type of things. First of all, I clear you one thing, students are not aware about these type of things. They are paying fees or everything. I reach out a lot of students, they didn't know that they are paying fee from their, their fees. So that's why if we aware them, they will raise their voice and they will ask to do these type of things. So that's why I just wanna do for students. That's all my concern.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, same question. Sure. So we just recapped how much executive members make a year, and we know that students pay for these wages. So what do you propose to keep the board members accountable to be working the amount of hours they're supposed to be paid? They're supposed to be working to receive this pay, which is 80 hours a month.
So if board members are paid these much amounts to works, then they should be accountable to work the required hours they are supposed to work. And like as we discussed before, so CSU is reducing the pay of the board members who are not attending the fully hours, and I completely agree with that thing. That thing is fair enough, because if a person is not doing what he is responsible to do and not giving the time he is responsible to give, then requisite and sensible punishments and a decrease in their pay is fair enough. So these things can indulge the board members to give their 100% and attend as many hours as they are required.
Thank you. Okay, now each of you get to ask each other one question. Who would like to go first?
So my question for him. So like my brother mentioned about the fee, like there is an increase in the fee. So he said like there is a less increase in our university. So I have a one concern like that, like if he wanna like in future he wanna do work on these things. He wanna like stop the fees increase. He will do work on these type of things or not in the future.
I want to do work on what kind
My question is this, like, you said that like our university increase less fees. So I just want to make sure that if you like in future you will be do work on it, you will stop it, or as you mentioned it's less increase, you want to go with it.
So I think less increase in the tuition fee is good for us all, not just for me, not just for you, but for everybody. If fees is increased less, it's good for every student. So we will definitely work on this thing that the tuition fees, we'll not comparing with any other university, just talking about our university, the increments are sensible and pocket friendly with every student because tuition fee is a huge burden on every student, and unnecessary increments are definitely gonna concern students, but the increments which are for the betterment of resources to the students and the betterment of like university buildings and constructing new buildings and making new resources, then the increments are sensible and students will definitely agree with those increments.
Okay, can I say one question?
Sorry, this is your turn to ask the question.
Okay, all right. So can I have a moment, please? So I would like to ask you that, as we all suffer from this, that it's taking too long for us to commute to university. So are you involved in any of the discussions with anybody, or do you know anything about how are we going to make this better? If you know any authority or which, even if you know which authority are you going to reach out when are you, if you come to board. So I just want to ask, what are your plans on making the commute more easier, or which specific authorities are you going to reach out, and which specific routes are you going to make, and what specifically you want to do about that?
Okay, first of all, I clear you that like first time I'm running for election, like I have no experience in elections or anything. So the main thing is this, like there is a transition time. It's a transition time of 1 month. So I will learn these type of things from the current president. So he will like let me know all the things. So I will work on it, and I do better for the students. If like he know that very well, so he explained me you can talk to with this person, and this transition time helped me to do and do for the students. That's my answer.
Thank you. Okay, now we're going to receive questions from students in the... Yes.
My question, so you mentioned that since other universities have raised 10% and it's 5%, so it's justified. And you said that, oh, it's mandatory for the university to increase fee, to develop all the things. But you are running for the president of Kapilano Student Union. You should be talking about international students. And just now you said that, oh, I'll be working towards the fee structure. But on the other hand, you're saying that, oh, it's okay. So you are contradicting your own statement.
Come again, please.
So the student is saying that you're contradicting your statement because you started saying that it is acceptable for the university. But you already, I think, yeah, we need shorter, more punctual questions. But yeah, it's just, do you want to clarify about your position with, I feel like it has been clarified though.
Yeah, I never said that the increment is fair enough. I think you misunderstood me, or you were not aware, or you know what, you were not very concentrated on what I'm saying, because I never mentioned that.
It's okay, sorry. I don't want this to be just two-sided. I want this to be on your work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
any other questions?
Oh.
Yes?
As you mentioned that you have no previous experience that you are running as a president for this first
You mentioned that you don't have any previous experience and you're running for the first time?
Yes.
How do you think you'll go about, because it's such an important position, and I believe most candidates start from the bottom down and they know what to do exactly, but for you, like, how do you want to go about it?
How do you want to go about it?
I already mentioned you there is a transition time for the 1 month. I do lot of hard work on it. And the other thing is I'm a university student from last 2 years. I know what's going on in university and what's the CSU is going on. There is a like online platform. I'm checking each and everything. Like I have an eye on it. So I know like I have a courage to do for this position. And the main thing is this. So if I chose this position, there is a reason. I wanna do something for students and university. So I will I promise you I will do something for you. And the transition time is good for me to learn each and everything, and I'll do my too much hard work on it.
Okay, thank you very much. We need to have the next two candidates.
Yeah.
Thank you both.
Thank you so much, everyone.
To the mic. 1, 2, 3.
Mic testing.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello, mic testing.
Okay, so each one of you are going to have a minute and a half. Yeah, if we can have silence so that the candidates can introduce themselves. Okay, you have, okay, we're going to start on this side. We have 1.5 minutes. Please tell the students why they should vote for you.
Okay, hi guys. My name is Mayank, and I'm a second-year business student. I'm pursuing my bachelor's in business. And if I talk about the experience, I have led the team of my state, Haryana, in the national legal literacy competitions, and we have won that. So I think I have quite a leadership experience. And I'm an international student, and foremost, I'm a student. So I know the concerns, I know the real-life concerns of domestic as well as international students. I'll not make any huge promises like cutting down the fees by 10% or changing the bus routes completely, a rapid bus to Capilano. No, that's not possible, so I can't do that. But I will make sure to bring a sense of community in CAPU so that we can be proud of ourselves and say that, okay, we're CAPU students, just like UBC and SFU students do. And I can change the cafeteria food for some better. I can create some more events. I can talk about the academic policies with the Senate board. So yeah, that's what all I can do. And that's what I'm here for, talking with the faculties for the assignments, for the assignment deadlines, making it easy for everyone to approach that and to file appeals. And more pop-ups, more food security procedures. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thanks. Whenever you're ready.
Hello, I'm Jaspreet Kaur, and my pronouns are she, her. And I'm running to be your next CSU president. I'm a returning student. I'm in my 3rd year of Bachelor's of Business Administration. And I believe that every student deserves a strong voice in shaping their university experience. I have worked very hard over the last 5 years in Canada to develop my leadership skills. I have also served as an at-large representative on the CSU board in 2021, and over the last 3 years of my work experience outside school, I have worked with and collaborated with teams of 15 members or more on a daily basis. I have been engaged in conflict resolution, strategic planning, policy and procedure setting, and employee motivation as well. If elected, I will push for increased domestic student participation, better transit access, better availability of UPass BC program, and ensuring and maintaining the educational quality standards, which may come due to the budget cuts, due to the immigration changes as well. And better access to more university resources like counseling and academic advising, which I constantly see that students do not feel confident about. As a student, I have had my struggles, and I believe that every other student would have their unique struggles as well. I'm here to hear all the struggles and put them forward in CSU and work for them, so every student feels empowered and represented.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to start with the first question. So part of your role is to be the spokesperson for the CSU on general issues. So as an example, we're going to talk about the 2% domestic voter turnout in the last election. So each one is going to have 1 minute to explain to the students why is it a problem to have such a big part of the student population disengaged with the election process, and to try and motivate them to vote. And now you can start first.
I think that less domestic participation, even in voting and contesting elections, and even in the other CSU events, is a huge problem. It discredits the credibility of the CSU as an organization, because if it only one demographic and only one group of students is engaging in it, what does it say that we are doing to engage other people and other students? We are here to include diversity, we value equity, and we want all students to be included. In my campaigning, I have been very active in trying to engage all kinds of students in all buildings. So I have been as far as Bosa building as well. And what I've noticed is that they have a very closed environment in which they feel uncomfortable getting out of their building and let alone engage with other students in the other campuses. They see that there are certain programs in the university which have more students than the other programs, and then they are of certain demographic as well. So it's harder for them to come and approach us as well as it is hard for us to approach domestic students. Thank you
so much. That's your time. Whenever you're ready, you have 1
Can you
minute.
repeat the question, please?
Sure. So we're talking to the students and we're explaining to them why is it a problem to have only 2% of domestic students participating in the elections last year, and to have this large demographic of students disengaged with the elections. So we're trying to explain why is it a problem and try and motivate them to vote.
Okay, so first of all, why it's a problem? The simple reason is that Capilano boasts itself as a multicultural and a very diverse university. So if we are not able to take our stand properly on that and not fulfill the words that we are saying, so I don't think that we are representing our own words correctly. And I think why it's happening is because Capilano and the CSU always tried hard to create a diverse environment where international students and the domestic students can live together and be in harmony. But over time, due to program restrictions and most of the domestic students being in the music programs, and the theater programs, and the acting programs, and all the international students being in the different programs, it has created a divide instead of living in harmony and in the same, it hindered the sense of community. So what I would like to do is, what I'm also doing right now in my campaigning, I'm talking with international students as well as domestic students. I'm talking with the Capilano Blues members as well, so to increase the participation.
Thank you so much. Next question is about the CSU cap to international tuition fee increases. So what is your knowledge about the CSU efforts to prevent international tuition fees from getting higher than they already are? And what would you propose to do differently? Now you can start.
Okay, so in my knowledge, CSU submitted a proposal where all of us, I think, signed that to cap the international fees increase. And what I can do is, I can raise the concern of that the international student fees is already way too high. Our student fees is as equal to UCW, and the education standard is completely different. We have a much greater education standard. So if you are already doing it in such low fees, I don't think that we should increase it more. And yeah, that's all.
Thank you. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I have been a part of board in 2020 and 2021, as I said, and we have included the 2% cap on international student fees in the strategic plan for these 5 years. We have been advocating for the cap through information sessions on the campus. There has been a recent change for 5%, which is being contrasted by the CSU in terms of getting students to sign the letter. The efforts has been already done to meet the government officials. I plan to conduct that on a more assertive manner and to make everyone aware that the students are already paying 3 to 4 times extra than the domestic students for the same education that they're getting, just because they are not from this country, but they are paying the extra fees. It is unfair in terms of equity to get the same result, but putting in different resources, different effort in terms of money.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, next question. So we're going to recap that your positions are paid over $28,000 a year. Vice presidents are paid over $24,000 a year. And that is with the expectation that you're going to put 80 hours a month of work into your portfolios. So what do you propose to keep all the executives accountable to receive this pay, which comes from our students' money?
I'm aware that there was an alumni committee set up to keep the current executives accountable, but it was repealed due to later decisions of the board. I want to bring the conversation of bringing that committee back and hopefully bring the committee back as well to keep the current board members accountable. I would also like to revise the policies on attendance and the advance notice for the attendance so that at least the students are there to attend the meeting and know what is going on rather than people coming here and not knowing what they voted for in a decision that they made as a board member in this current term. Thank you.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so I think they should be held accountable for that. And what I think should be done is to create student forums, direct student forums, where more general meetings are held, so students can come and they can directly raise their voice and say that, okay, in this, for example, student affairs, the vice president of student affairs, for example, hypothetically is not working properly. So they'll take a vote. If the students say that, okay, none of the real life changes are being in place, so then they can hold the vice president accountable for that. And I also think that the timesheets and the meeting times should be made public to the students because I don't think that's very personal or something like that. So if students can know that the board members are attending the meetings properly and they're working and the students have a chance to raise a voice for it in those meetings, I think that'll be great.
Thank you. What you were narrating is pretty much how it currently works, that the CSU directors can vote on cutting a member's pay if they're not working the 80 hours that are needed. However, that means that accountability depends on the vote of directors. Do you think that should, do you think that's been working so far? And do you think that should be still the way that we have accountability in the board?
Okay, so what I'm saying is not only directors, but we should be taking votes and we should be taking opinions from students themselves. Because first of all, I think that students know that if there is some policy, we as board members are not supposed to just sit in the office in some formal clothes and pass formal decisions. No, if we are passing decisions and if we are in the power, we have to take decisions that impact students in real life. And if students can see that, okay, it's been 6 months, and there's no decision that has helped us in real life and practical life, I think they should be given a chance to raise a voice for that. And then you can judge their working and hold them accountable for if they're working properly or not.
Okay, thank you. We're going to open to questions from the students. Yeah.
So one question for Mayank, as during his introduction he mentioned that direct connections from transit is not possible.
Direct connections from transit is not possible
Is not possible. So
to the university.
I want to say that we used to have those direct connections before. There was a bus from Metrotown or Joy Station directly to the university, and then from Park Royal for the students from North Shore directly to the university. And we are advocating really hard on that. And we had a meeting with the MP yesterday regarding the transit issues. And here you as a president candidate, how you can say that that's not possible? So if you are already saying that means you're not going to advocate for the transit issues.
No, that's not the thing. I just said that it's very impractical to say that I will create a direct, for example, rapid bus route to Capilano University, or create direct 2 or 3 bus routes. I will advocate for that, of course. That's in my biography as well. That's in my candidate statement as well. But considering the recent transit changes and how much transit budget is getting cut down, you guys must have read the news, right? So yeah, considering that, I think 2 or 3 direct bus routes is a really huge decision for TransLink, because they are considering to change one of the small bus routes, the usual bus routes. If they're cutting them down already, I don't think they'll advocate in a practical situation for a completely new bus route to Capilano.
Thank you. In the back?
Even after the cuts, it's still not impractical. It has been done in the past, even before the resumption boom. It has been done in the past. There were buses which...
Is this a question?
It is kind of a follow-up. I'm coming to the point what they meant. think that the statement of impractical was incorrect. It is practical and CSU is advocating for it, and it has been done in the past.
Can I answer?
And my question is about you mentioned that you'll have more pop-up events. How do you think you're going to have the funding for it when the CSU already has that amount, which has been allocated to the budget, and we are doing our best to have those events? But how do you bring more pop-up events? How do you bring more funding for that?
Okay, more pop-up events because all of us know that for international students, especially in Canada, especially in Vancouver, it's a very expensive city. And food insecurity is one of a very huge issues, okay? And almost everyone faces it at one point or the other. So I think creating a funding request for that will not be as tough as a new bus route completely. That will be something that we can advocate for, and I think that funding will be passed as compared to new bus routes, because that sounds more of a huge project, considering what you asked, that it sounds impractical. So there are two huge projects. If you read TransLink News daily, as I do, there are two huge projects TransLink is doing. First is Surrey to Langley extension, and the second is the Broadway construction. So those two projects, combined with the budget cutting, that is going to be a very huge commitment to get new bus routes. But pop-up will be pretty easy, as we can create a funding request for a few $1,000s, and it'll be easy.
Can I speak to that, please?
Okay. Current board members, we're going to stop the questions there.
Can I speak to that, please?
Yes, you have. Yeah, because you didn't have a chance to speak. You have 1 more minute, but then we're over time, so.
Yeah.
Please go.
I think every revolution begins with being ambitious. Then you decide if it's practical to be revolutionizing or not. So to think that I cannot get the bus line that already existed, it's not impossible. You can totally do it. And even if the TransLink is cutting budgets and they have other priorities, that does not mean that they cannot include us as a priority as well if we advocate hard enough. Just calling people who are sitting in a formal setting in the office of CSU, taking these decisions, working on it, reading reports, and advocating for the same, calling that not enough is not going to work as a president. You need to be there. You need to do the formal stuff as well. You cannot just be calling it fun and jokes. It has to be a serious matter, and that is what we need. Reading just the TransLink daily would not help. If you said that you talked with domestic students as well as international students, then you should have known that international students need that bus service, which is where we are here to advocate for. We are not promising that I will get it done. We are here to promise that I will advocate for it and make that a voice that people should listen to. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to both. Thank you for everyone. Thank you everyone for staying until the end.